What does it mean to be a grown-ass woman? Well, that depends on who you ask. In this episode, we hear from our brilliant Grown-Ass Woman's Guide community, and I share a few habits every grown-ass woman should have in her toolkit, like every one of us. This is the Grown-Ass Woman's Guide. I'm your host and guide, Jackie McDougall. Menopause is unavoidable, but suffering? Yeah, that's optional. Kindra is redefining menopause with science-backed products, education, and my favorite thing, community. Whether you're wondering if you're at the early stages of perimenopause or you have already been there, done that, Kindra is committed to helping us all be the best versions of ourselves.
When you have simple things that can help you take care of yourself, that make you a better you, because that's really what we're ultimately all after, why not take advantage of those?
Get 20% off site-wide at ourkindra.com with promo code GAW20. That's ourkindra.com, promo code GAW20. We've got some incredible guests coming up in the episodes to come. But one of the things that we do here at the Grown-Ass Woman's Guide is also include our community. It's so important to me that the episodes reflect what grown-ass women truly need and want. In fact, before we get started, I'm going to be honest with you. I am over Facebook, over it. Not only are they constantly making news for some seriously shady practices, but I've been punished on multiple occasions over the last couple of months for quote unquote breaking the rules or the guidelines. And yet when I reach out, they're like, yeah, you're just breaking the community guidelines. We're not sure which, but they won't even tell me what I'm doing wrong. The posts in the group aren't being seen by people because they're algorithms. And it won't even let me change the name of the group because I'm under some sort of house arrest or something. And at first they said, okay, October 2nd, you should be good to go. And then on October 6th, I tried to change the name of the group and they're like, oh no, we had to extend it because you're still breaking the rules. What the actual F? What rules am I breaking? So anyway, before I just go off the rails here, I have a 3-question listener survey. What is important to me is not to have some enormous Facebook group that appeals to everyone, but to have a community, have a space where you can come in, hear from the guests on the show, hear from me, connect with other listeners, take an even deeper dive with some of the guest experts, maybe in workshops and things like that. And so I really, truly want this engaged, robust community. And I don't even care how many people are in it. I just want it to be people like you, people who listen to the show, people who are passionate about the topics, people who email me and tell me what they like and they don't like. That stuff really matters to me. And so I want to create a community where it is a give and take. It goes both ways. If you could take the 3-question listener survey, seriously, 10 seconds of your day, it's linked right here in the description. And one more thing, today is the launch of the Grown-Ass Woman's Guide website. So one of the things I asked over the summer was, how do you best consume content? Is it audio? Is it video? Is it a blog? And it was kind of crazy that women over 40 are right down, 33 as far as the percentage who like blogs or video or audio. And so while you're listening to this on a podcast, almost every episode here on out will also have a blog post because some people just like to share the blog. Some people like to read instead of listen. And I get that. And so we are going to provide that on the website. So please head on over to grownasswoman.guide. That's right. It's grownasswoman, all one word, .guide. Made it super easy for you to find it. And yes, for those of you who love video, there will be clips for every episode right there on our YouTube channel, also called The Grown-Ass Woman's Guide. You can find that on the website. You can go to YouTube and search for that. And of course, I'll link to it in the description here. I recently asked our community of grown-ass women, what does being a grown-ass woman mean to you? The answers were amazing, obviously. Diane says, doing what needs to be done, whatever that is. I could not agree more. Julie says, not apologizing for other people's bad behavior. Yes, Julie. And Wendy says, it means I officially have 0 Fs to give. Yes, yes, yes. And some of our community members were kind enough to send over their answers in audio. So take a listen to these by Frances, Maureen, and Diane.
Being a grown-ass woman means I have the means to take care of me and mine on my own, partner or not.
Not seeking approval or permission to do, be, have, or experience anything I want.
Being accountable to yourself for the things that you can control. If you want something different for yourself, then do something that you've never done before. Get out of your comfort zone.
Grown ass.
Yes, Frances. Grown ass. I love it. So today I want to touch upon some of the habits I believe are really important if you are looking to live a life as the most badass grown-ass woman you can be. You ever meet that woman? She's got like amazing boundaries, or she knows who she is, and you're just like in awe staring at her through life because she just doesn't live for other people. That to me is what a grown-ass woman is, right? A grown-ass woman is kind and loving and giving, but she doesn't live to please other people and to live for other people. She lives for herself under her own rules and boundaries. So let's touch upon some of these habits that I think are super important. But here's the thing. You can get all 11 of them as a free printable. So I created a printable so you can download it, print it, post it somewhere you see it every single day. It could be a screenshot on your phone or on your computer. It could be on your bathroom mirror. It could be in your car. It could be on the wall in your office. Wherever you need a reminder of what some of these habits are that help us be the best grown-ass woman we can be, do it. In fact, I would love to see where you post these habits. Take a picture of where you post it and make sure that you tag Grown Ass Woman's Guide on social media, but show me where you put your habits so that way you can really see them every single day and remind yourself of those that maybe you need a little bit of help with. Let's touch upon some of these habits. Number 1, a grown-ass woman knows she's not for everyone. I have talked about this so many times. I talk about it with my kids, with my clients. You're not for everyone. Imagine living your life trying to win people over. It might not be that hard to imagine. It is a game changer when you realize that sometimes people just don't like certain people. It could be their energy. It could be their baggage. You just might not be their preference. And when you start to go, hey, you know what? I'm not for everyone. You start to become, or one starts to become more for herself. And so a grown-ass woman is like, I am not for everyone. I'm okay with that. I'm kind, I'm loving, I'm amazing, and I am me no matter what. You know what? I think I need to make some shirts and put I'm not for everyone on those shirts. So stay tuned for that. And to follow up on one of the previous comments, a grown-ass woman makes no apologies. We don't apologize for our life choices. We don't apologize for what we want and how we live our lives. But on the flip side, we are quick to apologize when we're actually at fault. We don't pretend that it's not our fault. We don't play games. We just say, I'm sorry when it's time for us to take responsibility for ourselves, right? Make no apologies for your life. Make apologies if you're actually at fault or responsible. A grown-ass woman knows no thank you is a complete sentence. Yeah, I added the thank you because I think it's always a good idea to be polite, but a grown-ass woman knows that no thank you is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain why you don't want to do something or why you want to choose to do something else. It's a complete sentence. Just own it, be polite, and let's move on. One of my favorites is a grown-ass woman sees vulnerability as a strength, not a weakness. And I'm telling you, this one took me decades to realize. In fact, I don't think we can actually be connected to each other, like on a deeper level, if we're not willing to be vulnerable. I mean, how many times have you been with a friend or a sister or cousin as just some woman in your life, and then she sort of breaks down that facade of holding it all together and being strong and actually share something with you? And what's the reaction? Usually, oh my gosh, it's not just me. She feels this way too. Or I always thought she didn't worry about a thing and that she just was moving through life. There's something about being vulnerable, letting people know, letting those you trust in to see what you're struggling with. I mean, if nothing else, over the last year and a half, we have all been vulnerable at times. sharing that with each other, I just can't imagine a more powerful thing than to just get honest and be vulnerable and share what it is we're really going through to let people in. That's great that you can handle all of the things and carry it on your shoulders and all of that. But where's the human connection in that, right? Because we can't really do it. We go home and then we have too much to drink or too much to eat, or we go shopping, or we do something to sort of numb the pain, as opposed to just saying to someone else like, hey, this is what I'm going through. I really encourage you, me, all of us to drop the need for pretending, and just once this week with someone you trust, allow yourself to be vulnerable. I believe a grown-ass woman uses her voice to help others. There are women everywhere who are held back at no fault of their own, or have their voices cut off or cut down, or they are just in a position where they do not feel that their voice matters or that they even have one. If you're in a place like you have a seat at the table at work, right? Look around you. Who else needs a seat at that table? If you are in your community and you see women, and yes, all people, but this show's for women who are struggling, women who just need someone to reach out a hand and pull them up, women who are discriminated against, women who are suffering from behaviors that have been in our society for hundreds of years. We all deserve to live as a grown-ass woman. And so if you are in a place where you can use your voice or your power or your position, your skills and your gifts, your positivity, use that to help another woman who maybe doesn't have the same opportunities. I truly believe we are meant to do that. Another habit that would tie directly into that is a grown-ass woman puts her own well-being first. Now, that doesn't mean at the expense of other people. It just means that we are committed to ourselves, putting our own well-being first, putting our mental health and our physical health and our emotional health high up there on the priority list. So that way we are whole when we help other people. If you are living like a fraction of who you are meant to be or who you can be, you can't very well help other people. So really putting your own well-being first and up there as a priority is absolutely key. This will also help you to set firm, loving boundaries for yourself and for other people. I think it's really important not only to have boundaries for other people, but boundaries for ourselves, and understanding with ourselves that there are certain behaviors that are acceptable and reasonable and others that are not. I think sometimes there are people out there who are like, oh, these are my boundaries for you and you and you, but they don't necessarily set them for themselves. That's a little messed up. But here is the most important thing, I think, when it comes to setting boundaries, especially for other people. Share those boundaries, communicate them clearly, because you can internally agree to boundaries that other people need to live by. But if you're going to just keep them inside and not share them, how do you actually expect other people to understand your boundaries and then live by them? Unless you are willing to communicate clearly, you don't actually have set boundaries. A grown-ass woman means what she says and says what she means. I think that one speaks for itself. Live with integrity. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with other people. It's really a great thing to live by. And a grown-ass woman invests her time, her energy, and her money in what matters to her. We spend a lot of time saying how little time we have, but yet we're spending it doing things that don't really matter. They don't align with the goals we say we have or the things we say we want in our lives. Look at your calendar and what you're doing this week, what you're doing today. Are you investing your time, energy, and money in what is actually really important to you and what will get you to where you want to be in your life? If the answer is no, it's time to reevaluate and to change some things. I think living with intention can be a difficult thing to do, but as a small daily practice, it really changes our lives. Let's be honest, the time and energy, those are not endless resources. We're not getting those back. Money, we can always make some more, right? But time and energy, we've got such a finite amount. Are you spending it with the people that you want to be spending it with? And are you doing what you want to be doing? I would love to hear from you and what being a grown-ass woman means to you. Head over to grownasswoman.guide/episode 140. And there's a link there to our community where you can join the conversation and share your thoughts on what being a grown-ass woman means to you. Be sure to come back next week because we're starting our interview series on the Grown Ass Woman's Guide. And remember, you can go to grownasswoman.guide and get all of the episodes, all of the past 40 Thrive episodes. That's where you can find our partners page, support other grown-ass woman-owned businesses, find our community. Plus, there's a link there for our 3-question, 10-second long listener survey. Everything is there at grownasswoman.guide. Thank you so much for listening. Remember, you are a grown-ass woman. Live accordingly. Spring has sprung, and with the change of seasons, sometimes comes an increase in vitality. If you're feeling in the mood for a little more personal time, may I suggest Coconut. Coconut is all about providing clean and natural ingredients when you're enjoying your most intimate moments, with or without a partner. Naturally safe products developed by people who are obsessed with quality. Get 15% off with promo code GROWNASS at grownasswoman.guide/Coconut. That's 15% off with promo code GROWNASS at grownasswoman.guide/Coconut.